Hi, I'm Brenda and welcome back to Daily Dose of, and happy Friday! For those of you who have had a long week just like I did, let's all take a moment to slow down, take a deep breath in, and let this last week go. Now that we are all a little bit centered, we're gonna hop into the first episode of a mini series I like to call One Palette Does All. And it's a very self-explanatory series. It's literally one palette is going to do the whole eye look. And this week we are going in with the Colourpop On Cloud Blue. This is, there we go. This is a 9 palette shade, 9 pan eyeshadow. There's 9 eyeshadows in this palette and I use almost all of them to get this eye look here. I've always been fascinated what you could do with one eyeshadow palette. I feel like I always see so many elaborate looks on Instagram and all over YouTube, and the list of products that they're using is so long and you feel like, oh my god, if I don't own 10,000 eyeshadow palettes, can I get that look? And today's answer is yes. So if you would like to see how I got this look, keep on watching. All right, you know the drill. We are starting off with a clean and a moisturized base. For starters, I am going in with the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Primer Hydrating. See these fake nails? How do I open this? Haha, haha, haha. So this is actually a silicone-free primer. I personally find these to be more hydrating, but if you do want a silicone-based primer, Benefit Professional, great one. For foundation today, I am going in with the Too Faced Born This Way. I am in the shade Warm Nude. Today, let's talk New Year's resolutions. What are all your thoughts on having resolutions now that it's a whole new year? I'm sure many of you had expectations for 2020. Hopefully none of you set pandemic as an expectation, so I'm assuming y'all had to change some of your resolutions. Does that make you want to not set resolutions this year, or does this year give you more hope to revamp those resolutions and think of new ones? Personally, I've been setting the same resolutions every year because I keep not meeting them, and I'm learning to be okay with it because I set ones that seemingly are achievable but feel weird and random. And I'll be like, oh, I want to read a book a month, and I'll be doing well until March gets really busy and then I don't read a book that month. And then for me, sometimes if I don't meet something, quick sidebar, I'm starting to go in with the Mented Cosmetics Brow Pencil. For me, if I don't meet something, then I tend to want to start over. I tend to want a blank slate, yet at the same time, I don't think that's what's best for me. I think sometimes I just need to be powering through regardless of the result. Occasionally I'll be like, oh, well, you know, I couldn't read a book a month every single month, and so I should just quit this year and start over next year. When in reality, it makes way more sense to just pick up April and keep trying. Another New Year's resolution that I've had on my list for a while is to be able to do the splits. My high school sport of choice was actually swimming, but I did do a little bit of gymnastics, and I was able to do the splits at one point. I have since lost that ability, and it was just one of those resolutions that I had put on my list basically as a joke one year. I was like, it'd be great to do the splits again. But because it was on my list and I couldn't achieve it, I started to make myself feel bad about it. And then at the end of each year, it's like, Brenda, you still can't do the splits? Next, I'm going in with my trusty Huda Beauty Tantour Contour. I'm in the shade Light. Last night, I decided to write a few 2021 New Year's resolutions because I read online that you are 42% more likely to reach your goals if you write them down. No idea if that statistic is true, but I wrote them down. And then 10 minutes later, I got really stressed because I was like, oh my god, am I setting unreasonable expectations for the year 2021 considering how unpredictable 2020 was? So what I did was I ripped out the page from my journal and I took the page to my backyard and burned it. And by that, I mean I literally set the page on fire in like a waste basket, so I wasn't starting any forest fires. It's not a gender reveal party. But honestly, you know what? That felt fucking good. It was like releasing myself from these expectations that are good. It's good to set goals. I'm all for it. But you know what? It's also just as good to be easy on yourself. And burning that sheet of paper, it was freeing. Another frequent flyer on this channel is my Chanel powder. Taking a nice Real Techniques powder brush and just lightly dusting this baby over my face. Next, we are going in with the Kaja Beauty Cheek Stamp. This is in number 2 Saucy. I just love this applicator. You stamp it in here, and then you take this little heart and you stamp it on your cheeks. So I'm also going to go in with the Morphe 2 Gloss Pop for eyes and face. This turned out to be a great highlighter. I just squeeze a little bit onto my ring finger and just gently blend it to the tops of my cheekbones. See how it just kind of catches that light a little bit? It's very natural, semi-subtle. It's honestly like a little bit of an oil. You would think it's more like a gloss because of the way it shimmers, but texturally it's much more like an oil. All right, I have brought you a little bit closer as we hop into the eyes. Today we will be playing with the Colourpop On Cloud Blue palette. This is just so pretty. It's got 9 shades in it, a little blend of mattes, shimmers, super glitter. Starting with a Morphe 508 brush. It's just a nice little detail brush. I am hopping in with Love Poem, and we are just going to trace our orbital blue. I'm just going to carry this out to my temple. Cleaning off the brush on my hand, I am next going to go in with Plan and just tracing the same outline right on top of where we just were. Again, cleaning off the brush on the palm of my hand. Last, I am going in with Ice Baby and tracing on top of that. And I'm bringing Ice Baby just a little longer than the rest of them, so it creates that little bit of a wing. And I'm going to be right back and match the other eye. Next, I'm going in with a Morphe M521 brush. It's just a little bit more of a detail brush, and I'm going in with Blue Taffy and taking this guy and putting it all over the lid underneath. Look at this beautiful iridescent blue. And for this, I am just stopping at the outer corner of my eye. I'm not taking the wing out quite as dramatically as I have on the top. I'm just going in with a flat detail brush, and I'm going in with the color True Blue. This is the darkest one of the shade. And instead of using a black eyeliner, I'm just going to use this as the eyeliner. And what I'm going to do is take this to the outer corner and go and meet the rest of the line. So now it's one cohesive triangle. Once the eyes are lined, I'm actually going back in with the Morphe 152 and going back in with the shade Blue Taffy. I'm just gonna fill in that missing space right here. Ooh, this is not a small enough brush. I try to go in with the M124 brush in Blue Taffy. And it is okay if you overdo it a little bit, because we are going back in with our first liner brush, going in with that Love Poem and just covering it a little bit. As a little bit of a finishing touch, I'm going in with this Light Packed Glitter, and we're just gonna dab it over the center lid area. It could be a little messy. It's kind of hard to get precision with these cream glitters. Now I am going in with that same liner brush that I did with True Blue, taking that, and I'm just gonna go with the outer lower edges. I'm only bringing it halfway in because we are going to be using the Blue Taffy to increase the inner corners. I'm actually gonna go in and just bring this outer edge out a little bit more and flatten the brow just a little bit more. Continuing on the brow detour, I'm actually gonna go with the Glossier Boy Brow. Fun fact, I had bought this for Linda for Christmas, but we had this other conversation where she was like, oh, like I didn't even get to finish my boy brow. So I ended up giving her a different gift and keeping this for myself. So I popped off real quick to put on some false eyelashes. Y'all know I do that by now. I can't actually remember what model these are, so I will look for the box and leave it in the description below if you care to buy the same one. Last but not least, we are going in with lipstick. Whenever I think baby blue, pastellies, I also think baby pink. So we're gonna go in with the MAC lipstick in Chatterbox. I know I dropped the whole New Year's resolution talk as soon as I started my eyes like a forgotten potato, but it's just because I gotta concentrate on those eyes. I'm not looking for any new crazy resolutions this year, because who knows what's gonna happen this year. I just want to be happy, healthy, and uploading videos for y'all. Something nice and simple. Now, if I can do the splits by December 31st, then I'm gonna learn how to do the WAP dance. But in order to do that, I also need to learn how to twerk, and Malaysia's been working on that for years for me. We're still working on it. All right, so this brings us to the end of the look. As you can see, everything on my eyes came from this one measly little palette, which just goes to show you really don't need that many eyeshadow palettes. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more videos like this. Remember, New Year's resolutions are just a non-needed thing. Rip yours out of your journal and burn it in your backyard. It'll feel good, trust me. But I'm not supporting you starting fires, okay? If you're like 5, don't do it, all right? Keep it in your journal, just take some white out, cross it off, okay? So yeah, let me not encourage you to start fires in your backyard. Anyways, I hope you guys have an amazing week ahead of you, and I will see you all next Friday. Bye-bye.